So guys, this is the replay portion of the stream. So we'll talk about what we're noticing. Those of you in chat, if you see something, if you have a question about something, please by all means ask. We have another giveaway up and running now. This is for you're doing a CC container. I like it. And Classic, this is your Ostergotland game. Oh, you got Taichunga on your team too, huh? Ahoy!
Action stations. Engine boost activated.
Laughing is allowed. Absolutely it is. Oh, and I forgot to talk about the special objects. So, here. While we get into the game, I want to share with you guys this special thing that I have. I like to showcase like some of the things that I've collected over the years of being a part of World of Warships. So I thought you guys might enjoy taking a look at this. This is a Wargaming St. Petersburg, kind of like a drawing book. And I love the design on it with the carrier and the planes and the ships. And then, within there, is basically just a whole bunch of lined paper. So, like I said, it's great for doodling. On the bottom, it says Wargaming St. Petersburg. And then what I love is on the back of it, it's got their motto. We deliver legendary online games globally with passion. Wargaming St. Petersburg. Upcoming new hybrid Russian battleship. Oh my god. I hope not. But anyway, is that cool or what? I got this at the CC Summit a couple of summers ago. And this is one of my prized possessions now. It's something I'm going to be keeping for a very long time. A spreadsheet and notebook, yes. It's squared, not lined. Okay, sorry, squared. Did I not stick that notebook in my mouth at the start? I did. For my picture, because I could. Need a book of ship girls. I'm not putting that in my mouth.
Hey, Zap.
Hey, Classic. What's up?
Now, I want you to be real critical here. I hate playing smokeless DDs on Epicenter, so I struggled at least the first half of the battle here.
Well, that's because of the fact that you're in the one place that you probably shouldn't be in a smokeless destroyer, which is in the middle of the map. You are extremely lucky, though, there's no carrier to deal with. It'd be nice if your Yagumo or your Bliss had come in with you or said, I'll take the middle and we'll let somebody else go, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I really hate giving up points.
I hear you. So I like the fact that you just went for it. Your Baltimore is radaring for no good reason.
You have 14 kilometers gun range?
Yes.
That seems quite long. So, I think the reason why we're kind of surprised at that is usually the Ostergotland is mostly a torpedo boat, and then you use the guns for, like, up-close and personal encounters, not for, like, super long-range spammy spam. Classic volume's too high? Alright, let's fix that.
Oster's base range is 10.2. So it looks like you took both range
I
mods.
was just gonna say, double range mods. So what I would do is, in slot 6, is it? Personally, I would go for torpedo reload, just so you spam torps that much more rapidly.
Okay.
You don't have the gun arcs are not good enough for 14 kilometers. You have to lead too much.
Mm-hmm. It does give you flexibility, and your comment earlier about hating playing smokeless destroyers is probably because you like to be able to set smoke and then shoot for free from that smoke, right?
No, actually, I love the smokeless DDs. I just don't like this having to feel like I'm forced to cap.
Okay.
the reason I don't recommend this much range, A, you don't have the ballistics to make good use of it, and a second, when you're fighting other ships, you can't disengage very easily because no
Yep.
smoke. So because 14 kilometers, you will be in range of a lot more ships that can spot you, even after the target like smokes up. It's pretty bad in destroyer fights.
Yeah, so generally speaking, when I build out the destroyer line of ships, I build for torpedo boats. So like torpedo reload and whichever one that gets this torpedoes even faster because lol, why not?
Why are you focusing on New Orleans? There's a Turpis right over there.
Or in Iowa even. Yeah, either of these would be good picks. I think you're too busy looking at the smoke because you know there's a destroyer in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point it's the Friesland.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've only seen those guns coming out. Now, the fact that it's a Friesland means he'll probably have hydro up, so your torpedoes, even though they're really fast, are probably not going to do anything to him.
Yeah, I was looking at forcing him out of smoke here, make him move.
I think he's probably going to win a 1v1 situation with you and him.
Friesland?
Yeah.
Technically, Oster will win the long-term fight if
'Cause
you
of the
get all
heal.
4 heals off.
Yeah.
And you outspot the Friesland, so you get the first shot.
The only problem is it wouldn't be a 1v1. You've got the Iowa and the New Orleans is probably in the smoke still, and the Scharnhorst nearby. So like,
Yeah, that's why I wasn't picking a gunfight at this point.
mhm.
They're just trying to hold down the cap, and I'm getting really frustrated because I wasn't doing much else.
Activated.
Yeah, this
But
like
you
it's
know,
another
I mean,
reason.
like, it sucks. It's boring. You're not doing damage, but it's very necessary to win the game.
Mhm.
I'm
Torpedo
feeling like
reload would be helping you out here.
Oh god.
yeah, I'm
yes.
feeling like if it'd been much worse at this point if I had not been holding down the middle cap.
Mhm.
I mean, you look at the points right now; that's almost double, close to double.
I guess I realized that the two smokeless destroyer lines are both basically perfect hybrid gun torpedo boat lines when you think about it. I mean, yeah, the French are torpedo boats like once in a battle, right? Like,
Or clever legendary mod.
yeah. But anyway, yeah.
They are-
Go ahead.
So yeah, you're holding mid, but you're kind of just stalling it. Like you don't have any real control over it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what you could have done was go over to the E5 area, try to make some plays there, or just go over to the well, maybe just the E5 area. But the
Mhm.
thing is, as I said, you just don't have any actual control. You're just stalling, which isn't helping much.
No, especially with you being down 2 ships already now. I paused it for a second because I want to note you got radared. So that's the Edinburgh that's running radar, which is an interesting choice for him. But more importantly, as soon as you got radared, you opened fire. Personally, I wouldn't open fire right off the bat because there's a delay now, of course, when you show up when you're radared versus when enemies, so enemies can't just shoot you right off the bat. However, when you open up automatically, then your bloom goes up and then everybody detects you anyway, and now they can see you and shoot you. So by
The
opening
reason
up...
I opened up immediately was because I knew, first of all, that Sharney wasn't looking at me.
Mhm.
And I just looked at I can't remember the other battleship there. He wasn't looking at me either.
Yeah,
So
Iowa.
I was fairly confident that neither of at least those two were going to target me. The one that I was worried about was the cruiser at my 7 o'clock. And I was
Yeah.
just moving forward at that point.
Yeah, that's the Edinburgh that's currently radaring you.
Yeah. And he's already got me, so.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, let's continue the battle and see what happens. You have incoming fire alert.
I'd be worried about that Friesland's last known position.
As in, you're heading straight towards him.
Yep.
Hey, look, there he is. He smoked himself up. And now he's got free shots on you. I wouldn't go this way. I would go cut left. I would get behind that big island. Try to break contact. Turning right like you did basically means that you sit there for the full duration of the 20-second gun bloom penalty.
Fortunately, most of them couldn't shoot that well. But yeah, against someone better, I would have been in a worse position.
So Friesland actually looks like it might have taken a torpedo or something.
Engine boost deactivated.
Who do you have supporting you? Marco, Vlad, and Zara. So the one thing to think about in this particular fight is what do you plan to gain from shooting that Friesland there?
I got nothing else to shoot at, or at least nothing that's gonna. He's down on health, and I'm hoping that I can either take him out or get him out of the battle.
And he gets
You're
detonated.
not gonna take him out.
No, that's the point I'm getting at. You actually had some shots on the Edinburgh there that you didn't take, which I think you probably should have taken because that would have gotten you some decap points. That would have slowed down their capture progress in the center. You got a Brindisi coming into the middle now. That's going to be a problem for you.
Yep.
Oh, Hipper torpedoes the Massachusetts. That's huge. Because now the Hipper in Colorado can kind of do something.
Hipper did a lot of good work in this battle.
Good.
He's down to almost nothing right now.
Mm-hmm. So Scharnhorst and Iowa are both throwing their lives away. The Ostergotland is a huge concern over here on the flank, because he's going to get just torps into the Vlad, maybe your div mate Marco Polo. I know you
All
like...
they have is Oster, so you can push in a spot more aggressively.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, Brindisi Luckchuck. Nice dodge.
Another side note, why is your detection 6.7?
That's a
Go
good
look.
question.
I remember Oster's maximum detection being at 6.
The enemy is
So in
about
other
to
words,
win.
we're not using Concealment Expert or the module.
One of them's missing.
Well, I've got Concealment Expert, so I don't have the module.
Okay. So,
I was using steering gears instead.
You probably want concealment here.
absolutely. Steering gears isn't going to help you much. I mean, if you're playing super long range gunboat build, I guess you could do that, but I find that this ship is far more effective if you play it very similar to that of a Japanese torpedo boat. So you want that concealment, you get in, and then you just torpedo all the things.
Steering gears works better for ships that can fight at longer ranges. Your Ostergotland doesn't have that doesn't have a good capability, so I wouldn't take steering gears. Your best asset's concealment.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can go push in against other destroyers because you aren't spotted at absurdly long ranges.
Right.
So, for example, if that Oster was mid instead, he would push you out because he outspots you by 0.7, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'll probably try it with
stop.
the changes you've suggested. But what I've typically used Oster as is what I was just doing, which is truly spamming that Iowa at long range.
Right. The only problem is that that's not going to win you games as effectively as being able to contest other destroyers.
There's other destroyers that are far more effective at
Enemy is
long-range
about to
gunboating.
win.
Like, if you look at how their Ostergotland has played, he was fortunate and he was able to go to the flank early, but he basically stayed on the flank and just kept pumping torpedoes into your teammates, your battleships, and that was far more effective. Think about if he had stayed at long range and opened up his guns to shoot down your battleships instead. I mean, some of your battleships might still be up. Yeah, he was shooting HE.
Yeah, we're down over 500 points and 2 ships at this point. I'm thinking it's pretty hopeless.
Yeah, but never underestimate the enemy's ability to throw.
There were issues at the beginning. Like you're in the middle of the cap stalling, which is okay, but you're basically just not losing. You can give up the middle cap early just because if you get a pick on a few ships early, that's more impactful than just stalling the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still wondering about that even at this point because looking at our positioning at mid-game, there was no one near the mid. So I didn't think we were ever going to get the mid back.
Mm-hmm. I would, you basically need to think about, like, how you can make an impact in the battle other than just holding down that one spot there. I think kind of what SAT's getting at is your torpedoes weren't really that effective. They even gave you a good opportunity because they all like went into the middle for some odd reason, and even then you weren't really able to do much with your torpedoes, right?
Yeah, at the Sharney with a couple. That's about it.
Right.
The important fight was there was 2 important fights, up north and down south. If you were present either one, you would have the point swing would have been further that on the enemy's advantage, but you could have also have a ship advantage. And if you have a ship advantage, you can just throw everyone into middle and stop the point game. Basically, yeah, you will lose more points in the short term, but you'll gain it back in the long term.
Yep, time
That
to heal.
you can afford at the start of the game.
Enemy destroyer blown up.
I don't know that I would have turned right after that kill. I might have gone towards the channel instead. Mainly because if that Ostergotland luck chuck torps at you, oh, you chucked him at the Sarah. You're broadside to them.
Yeah, he had already launched torps at the Zara, so then you can see he got the kill there.
Well, sure.
You need to go into mid because that's where the most points are. You only have 2 ships, so you can only stop 1 ring. You can only stop 2 rings.
Right.
Yep, and you're both in the same ring right now. No, your zoom is on the outer. Okay. Yeah, you got kind of lucky that he got a little bit too cocky and aggressive and got himself detected.
Yep. So they were down 280 to 90, 910 now. It's like...
Yeah. But with you grabbing the outer ring, if your Zuma moves forward, he completely stops the enemy team point gain. That gives you 3 minutes to make something happen. And if you're lucky...
You'll need kills here.
Yes. But it gives you time to get those kills. If you're lucky, that Enbro gets too aggressive, comes around the corner, and gets blapped. Looks like he's sitting still, actually, so Tai Chunker might come around and blap him.
You need to be zooming in on the ships and seeing where their turrets are pointed.
And why is that important, SAT?
You need to know if they're focusing on the Azuma or you. That way you can use their guns and get some damage on.
And it might be worth to open up with your guns to try to get them to focus on you instead of on the Azuma. There you go.
You have 3 minutes to kill both ships, so you need to start doing damage now. Especially as Oster isn't actually a DPM ship.
Yeah, I held until I got the cap. Not
No,
that the points
caps-
weren't that great, but yeah.
Caps don't matter. You can sit in mid. You'll stall it anyways.
Yep.
You're gonna need to get a kill.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just habit.
Nice kill by the Zuma there. See, so that's what you did. Is you were bait for your teammate.
Engine boost deactivated.
And now the Ostergotland is realizing that he's might very well lose this game. Got a minute and 46 to kill him. This is where I would just charge him. I wouldn't stay long range like you're doing. Personally, I'd go in straight at him, have him bounce off of your hull, and just shoot AP at him when he's broadside to you. Of course, when you've got a division mate that can blap him on the side, like he did, that helps too.
Yep, you just need to shoot. You're not gonna die, so you just shoot and bait Edinburgh to shoot you.
Yep. Well, thanks for sending that one in. That was
Yeah, thanks for the comments.
yeah. Any other questions you have on that, or at all, or?
No, I mean I think I'll try out the different configuration on the Oster like you guys have suggested and see how I do. I've done pretty well as it sits, but I don't mind changing and trying something different.
Think of it this way: that the Ostergotland is getting you prepared for the real gem of that line, which is the tier 10 Holland. And the Holland is an absolute beast because it can luck chuck torps like crazy. It's got pretty darn good concealment. It's got great anti-air, and in the case of a gunfight, it'll do okay. So you have to kind of learn that playstyle with that ship. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I actually have the Holland spec completely torpedoes, so I play it definitely like a torpedo boat, but I was using the Oster more as a gunboat.
Okay.
I play Oster as hybrid. Both Oster and I play both Oster and Holland as hybrid. Also, look who's on the enemy